Your kitchen is supposed to be a place of rest and nourishment. But for most of us, it has turned into a high-stress obstacle course. You walk in hoping to make a quiet meal, and instead, you are forced to navigate tangled appliance cords, jammed drawers full of single-use plastics, and heavy machines you barely use. You go in looking for peace, but you walk out completely drained by a dozen invisible choices. We have been sold a very specific lie. We are told that to be efficient, we need a highly engineered tool for every minor task imaginable. We buy avocado slicers, heavy electric choppers, and massive countertop ovens thinking they will buy us back our free time. But adding more machines does not speed up your life. It actually multiplies your chores. It gives you more plastic parts to scrub, more pieces to lose, and a massive amount of mental friction before you even chop a single vegetable. Japanese elders operate entirely differently. They actively reject this endless kitchen consumerism. Instead of hoarding cheap shortcuts, they rely on a strictly curated set of lifelong essentials. By stripping away the excess, they completely remove the cognitive load of preparing food. They leave only what is necessary, creating a space of pure calm and sharp focus. Pay close attention to this list, because gadget number 4 is sitting in your kitchen right now quietly draining your energy. And the exact reason Japanese elders throw it away is the complete opposite of what modern experts tell you to do. Look at your main kitchen counter right now. Chances are, a massive appliance is taking up permanent residence there. Maybe it is a heavy stand mixer, a bread maker, or a giant espresso machine. In Western kitchens, we treat these heavy machines like status symbols. We leave them out on permanent display to show we are serious about cooking, even though they sit completely unused 95% of the time. But leaving large objects out does not make you a better chef. It simply creates a permanent wall of visual noise. Every time you walk past that heavy machine, your brain quietly registers it as a chore. It is an object that needs to be dusted, moved, or managed. Japanese elders approach their living spaces through the concept of Shibui. This principle favors simple, silent functionality over loud, unnecessary displays. To them, an empty counter is not a void waiting to be filled with gadgets. It is intentional negative space that acts as breathing room for your mind. A clear, empty surface directly translates to a clear, untangled mental state. Your first action step is incredibly simple. Clear your main countertop entirely today. If you have a heavy appliance sitting out that you have not used in the last 7 days, move it entirely out of sight. Store it in a lower cabinet or put it in a box to donate. Reclaim your physical space, and you will instantly notice a drop in your daily anxiety. We constantly buy into the promise of mechanical food choppers and specialized plastic dicers. The marketing tells us these tools will save us 30 seconds of slicing time. But no one talks about the hidden tax they carry. You end up spending 5 frustrating minutes at the sink, scrubbing tiny bits of food out of plastic gears and sharp metal grids. You trade a minor physical effort for a highly irritating cleaning chore. Japanese elders avoid this trap entirely by focusing on the mastery of the essential. Instead of stuffing a drawer full of plastic gimmicks, they rely on a single, well-crafted knife, like a traditional santoku. They do not view chopping as a tedious race against the clock. By using one good blade, they turn the physical act of cutting food into a grounding, rhythmic practice. They completely eliminate the friction of assembling, disassembling, and washing complicated parts. Gather all your slap choppers, mandolins, and specialized slicers today and put them away in a box. Commit to doing all your meal prep with just one sharp knife for the next 48 hours. You will quickly realize that the simplest tool is actually the fastest. Modern kitchens are starting to look like computer dashboards. Everything from your coffee maker to your oven now comes with a flashing digital screen, a Wi-Fi connection, and an irritating series of beeps. We assume this technology gives us better control over our meals. But in reality, it forces you to navigate digital menus and error codes just to boil water or heat up soup. This constant interaction with screens adds a steady drip of digital fatigue to tasks that should be physical and relaxing. Japanese elders lean into a completely different approach inspired by Wabi-Sabi. This mindset embraces the organic, simple, and unengineered process of daily life. Instead of a smart device that requires a software update, they often reach for a traditional clay pot, known as a Donabe, or a highly reliable one-button cooker. There are no flashing lights, no menus, and absolutely zero cognitive overload. The act of cooking remains quiet, tactile, and deeply human. Your action step for today takes less than 10 seconds. Unplug any appliance with a digital screen when it is not in active use. Stop the silent, visual light pollution humming in your kitchen at night. Give your mind a genuine break from the glowing numbers. Open any modern kitchen cabinet, and you will likely find a chaotic tower of mismatched plastic containers. We hoard empty takeout boxes and cheap tubs under the excuse of keeping them just in case. But keeping these flimsy plastics acts as a false insurance policy that you pay for with your daily patience. Right when you finish cooking and just want to put your food away, you are forced to dig through a plastic avalanche trying to match a warped lid to the right bowl. It is a completely unnecessary puzzle that spikes your stress at the exact moment you should be relaxing. Japanese elders tackle this through the practice of Danshari. This philosophy is about refusing excess, disposing of physical clutter, and deeply detaching from the fear of throwing things away. Instead of hoarding dozens of cheap plastics, they maintain a very small, strict collection of high-quality, uniform vessels like glass or classic bento boxes. Every lid automatically fits. Every container has a specific purpose. There is absolutely no sorting required. Walk to your kitchen right now and ruthlessly recycle or throw away every single plastic container that is missing its exact matching lid. Stop keeping junk in your cabinets out of fear. Set a hard limit for yourself today and reduce your leftover storage to exactly 5 uniform containers. We have automated even the smallest physical movements in our homes. We rely on electric can openers, battery-powered peelers, and motorized spice grinders to save us fractions of a second. But automating basic physical tasks actually makes your kitchen much more fragile. You suddenly become reliant on finding fresh batteries, managing frayed cords, and dealing with cheap motors that inevitably burn out. It turns a simple meal prep task into an annoying tech support problem. Japanese elders bypass this headache by practicing Kanso. This is the complete elimination of the non-essential to achieve total clarity. They know that relying on a motor for a basic job is a complete waste of energy. Instead, they use simple, lifelong hand tools. A solid manual can opener or a sharp metal peeler will never break down and never requires a wall outlet. More importantly, using manual tools keeps your hands deliberately active and connects you directly to the food you are preparing. Find one battery-operated kitchen tool today and replace it with a high-quality manual equivalent. Feel the quiet, tactile satisfaction of doing the work yourself, completely free from the loud buzz of a cheap motor. Throwing these items away is not about punishing yourself. It is not about forcing yourself to suffer through harder work just to fit an aesthetic. It is about actively reclaiming your mental bandwidth. An empty physical space creates an empty, quiet mind. When you stop acting as a lifelong manager for cheap plastic junk, you finally start experiencing actual peace in your own home. This is not about restricting what you own. It is about completely freeing your time and energy. But listen closely. Do not attempt to overhaul your entire kitchen tomorrow morning. Trying to fix years of clutter in a single day will only cause a massive spike in anxiety, which defeats the entire purpose of this practice. Instead, pick just one single gadget category from this list to discard today. Leave a comment below telling me exactly which kitchen item you are throwing in a box tonight. Then, subscribe to my channel so you can continue building a highly disciplined, low-friction life.